Welcome to Have More Babies, the show where we take your sources and dive deep into the most important insights. Okay, picture this. One morning, your kid, usually super chatty, wakes up, tries to talk, and just a whisper comes out. Or maybe like a croak.
Yeah, like a little frog sound.
Exactly. Or just really raspy. It's instantly alarming, isn't it? That sudden change, it can really send a parent spinning, thinking what's wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, laryngitis in children. Our main source is Omega Pediatrics, specifically their article, Laryngitis, When Your Child's Voice Goes Silent, and some other great info from their site, too. So our mission today, to kind of unpack what this is, why it happens, what to look for, and how you can help your child through it, and also think about how it fits into, overall pediatric care.
Okay, let's get into this whole silent voice thing. So first things first, what is laryngitis exactly?
Well, at its most basic level, laryngitis is an inflammation, is the inflammation of the voice box that we call the larynx.
Think of the larynx like a tiny instrument inside the throat with the vocal cords.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets inflamed, those cords swell up. And when they're swollen, they can't vibrate properly. That's why you get the main symptom, the voice change. It can be anything from just hoarseness to, well, losing the voice completely for a bit.
And it just feels different when it's a kid, right? Like, as adults, we might get laryngitis and just, deal with it. But for a child, it seems like a bigger deal.
It really is, the impact. It's emotional, it's developmental, it's profound for a child. For us, a raspy voice is annoying. But for a kid, it's like their main way of connecting with the world is suddenly muffled or gone. A child's voice is so much more than sound. It's how they learn language, how they tell you what they need, how they express joy or frustration, how they play with friends. So when that gets disrupted, even for a short time, it's incredibly frustrating for them. It really is this sort of silent struggle.
Wow, yeah. That puts it in perspective. It's not just physical, it affects their whole little world. So what actually causes this inflammation? What makes their voice box get so irritated? The Omega Pediatrics article mentioned 4 main things.
That's right. The number one cause by far is viral infections.
Okay, like colds and flu.
Exactly. Common cold, the flu, even things like croup. These viruses just directly cause inflammation in the larynx. That's most cases.
Right.
But it's really important not to just think viruses. Vocal strain is a big one, too, surprisingly common in kids.
Vocal strain? How so?
Well, think about it. Kids yelling on the playground, cheering really loud, or even just, nonstop talking with tons of energy.
Yeah, I know that one.
All that overuse puts stress on those vocal cords. It's like overworking any muscle. It can lead to inflammation.
Makes sense. What else?
Then you've got allergies. For some kids, allergens, pollen, dust, pet dander, that kind of thing, can trigger an immune response that includes irritating the larynx.
Okay. Didn't think of allergies.
And the last one is environmental factors. Things like being around smoke, strong chemical fumes, even really, really dry air can directly irritate the voice box lining. So while viruses are most common, knowing these other triggers is key, especially for prevention, right? If you see a pattern.
That's a really good point about prevention. It's not always about dodging germs. Okay, so the voice gets hoarse. What else should parents look out for? And how does a doctor actually figure out, yep, this is laryngitis? It's not like they can just peek in easily, can they?
Right. It's more involved than just a quick look. Hoarseness is definitely the main sign. But the source also points out other things that often go along with it, like a dry, scratchy throat. Kids might say it feels sore.
Okay.
And sometimes maybe a little difficulty swallowing just because of that swelling in the area.
Right.
As for diagnosis, it usually starts with a physical exam.
Yeah.
The doctor will check the throat, feel the neck area gently, listen to their breathing, and they'll almost always do some kind of voice test. Ask the child to make sounds or talk, just to assess how hoarse they are, what the voice quality is like.
Simple enough. Do they ever need, more complex tests, scopes, or anything?
Usually not for straightforward childhood laryngitis. That physical exam and hearing the voice is typically enough. But if the symptoms are really bad, or they hang around for a long time, or maybe the doctor suspects something else might be going on, then yes, they might suggest an endoscopy.
What's that involve?
It's a thin, flexible tube with a tiny camera. They gently guide it down to get a direct look at the larynx and vocal cords. It's pretty rare for typical kid laryngitis, but it's a tool they have if needed, mainly to rule out other things. The main takeaway, though, is always, if you're worried, especially if it's severe or lasts a while, see a healthcare provider. Get a proper diagnosis.
Definitely. Okay, so let's say it is laryngitis. What's the treatment plan? You said it's often viral, so antibiotics are usually out. What do you do?
Exactly. Since it's mostly viral, the focus isn't on medicine to kill the bug, but on relief, supporting the body, letting the voice box heal. Our sources highlight a few key things. Number one is voice rest,
Ah, the hard one for kids.
the hardest one. Limiting talking, no singing, definitely no yelling. It's tough, but it's really important for healing.
Okay. What else?
Hydration, super important. Drinking lots of fluids helps keep the throat tissues moist, soothes the irritation, water, diluted juice, broth, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
And using a humidifier, especially in their bedroom at night, adding moisture to the air can make a big difference in comfort, ease that dryness.
Good tips. And medication. You mentioned antibiotics usually aren't needed.
Right. Only if, and it's a big if, the doctor confirms it's a bacterial infection causing it, which is much less common. Antibiotics do nothing for viruses, so giving them just in case doesn't help and isn't recommended. It really comes down to that supportive care. Rest, fluids, humidity.
It sounds like it really requires patience for the parent and the child. I mean, I can just imagine how frustrating that must be for a kid losing their voice like that.
It absolutely is. That phrase from the source, silent struggle, is so accurate. Imagine being little, full of things to say, questions to ask, demands to make, and suddenly you can't. They can get really irritable, maybe withdrawn, even a bit anxious.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's where the emotional support is huge. Parents can help by offering other ways to communicate, maybe drawing pictures, using hand gestures. If they're older, maybe writing notes. The key is just acknowledging their frustration, showing them you understand, and helping them find ways to still connect. Letting them know their voice, even when it's quiet, still matters.
That's a really lovely way to think about it. Support their communication however it happens. And this loops back to what you said earlier about prevention. What are those simple things parents can do to try and protect their child's voice?
Yeah, it often boils down to some basic healthy habits. Staying hydrated all the time, not just when sick, is a good foundation.
Yeah.
Keeps those tissues healthy.
Yeah.
Avoiding irritants is another one, especially secondhand smoke. Also strong chemical fumes, anything that can directly irritate the larynx.
Right.
And maybe gently teaching kids about healthy voice use. Encouraging them not to scream constantly, especially if they tend to get hoarse easily. Just building awareness about not straining their voice too much.
Simple things, but they can probably make a real difference.
They really can.
Talking through this specific issue, laryngitis, it also kind of highlights the broader approach Omega Pediatrics seems to take based on their site. It feels very connected.
It does. The website, our source material, it doesn't just talk about laryngitis in isolation. It touches on lots of pediatric concerns, head, neck, nervous system things, even ADHD or migraines.
Right.
And the underlying message seems consistent. Recognize symptoms early, understand potential causes, get professional advice when needed. It reflects that holistic view of child health.
It's all connected.
Exactly. It emphasizes that ongoing relationship with your pediatrician, the regular checkups, the open communication. It's about partnership in looking after the child's overall health and development, not just treating illnesses as they pop up.
Yeah.
So, if we were to sum up our deep dive today, laryngitis in kids, it's definitely more than just a hoarse voice. It's inflammation of the larynx, and it can really impact their ability to communicate, which is frustrating for them.
Yeah.
Understanding the main causes, viruses mostly, but also vocal strain, allergies, irritants, helps. And knowing the symptoms beyond hoarseness, like that dry throat or maybe trouble swallowing.
Right.
And the good news is, treatment is usually supportive. Voice rest's the tough one. Plus, lots of fluids, maybe a humidifier. And simple prevention steps can really help too. Just having this knowledge can make you feel more confident navigating it if it happens, and help you support your child through that temporary silence.
Absolutely. And for anyone wanting more details on laryngitis or, to explore all the other pediatric services and information we touched on, like acute care, prevention, immunizations, all that comprehensive stuff, definitely check out omegapediatrics.com.
Yes, it's a great resource.
It really is. So visit omegapediatrics.com. And hey, if you found this deep dive helpful, please do us a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel for more insights like this, and maybe share it with other parents or caregivers who might find it useful.
Please do.
And one last thing to think about. A provocative thought, maybe. A child's voice isn't just sound, right? It's how they connect, learn, grow, express who they are. So what steps can we take, really, to make sure their voice is both the literal sound and their figurative voice, their opinions and feelings are always heard, protected, and empowered? Something to chew on.
Good question.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone. Host speaker and expert speaker. Goodbye for now.